Hello everyone, here's your weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, December 14th. We've got more light snow for today, and that actually will continue into tomorrow. We do also have to deal with some low clouds, freezing fog with the stratus layer across the area. That is again that'll be around for a little bit tomorrow morning, where we don't see snow in the morning or a lot of snow in the morning, but that really will be sticking around Friday, Saturday, into Sunday in the morning and early afternoon hours. That's mainly for the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley, our South Hills and Albion Mountain areas, and also some of the valleys across the southeast and eastern highlands. It still looks colder, but just how cold will it be? And there might be a reason why it's not going to be as cold as we were thinking, as we might get some a little bit of wind and snow in here to help counter just some clear skies, some colder conditions across the area. Satellite this morning, we are in between storms. A lot of the bluish colors you see on the satellite are the mid and lower clouds across the area, the stratus deck that has developed in the wake of yesterday's storm. We have our next wave moving now out of southern British Columbia into the northwestern United States, and we're already seeing the leading edge of some of those clouds pushing into portions of central Idaho for this morning. We do have the light snow and patchy freezing fog along with the stratus over a good chunk of the Snake Plain, Magic Valley surrounding areas. We will see the light snow moving through the central mountains later on today, also moving through up and around Stanley, where we're expecting some freezing fog this morning. For tomorrow, a very similar pattern is shaping up across the area, and some of these areas the snow will be ending in the morning hours, especially across the central mountains, but elsewhere it'll take a little bit for that snow to end. And like we said, underneath the stratus deck, some light snow is still possible. That is at least for tomorrow. Now, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the snow potential is looking a little lower, but certainly the low clouds and fog is there. And very late in the day on Sunday, a little bit of light snow moving into the central mountains may produce a few impacts, especially once you get into the higher elevations up in Lemhi County, up towards Lost Trail Pass, especially. For today, though, looking how things are going to go, we've got that low cloud and light snow, especially from around Blackfoot back to Burley into the southeast and eastern highlands. Also, some of that across portions of the upper Snake Plain over into the Teton Valley area this morning as well. So we go through the day. That sticks around, especially you can see kind of enhancing a little bit underneath that stratus deck. We call that cedar feeder. The higher level cloud cover throws some ice crystals down into the stratus deck and helps actually produce a better chance of light snow falling underneath that layer of lower and mid-level clouds. But you'll notice off to the north and to the west, here comes our next wave moving through. That moves into the central mountains during the afternoon, moving into the Magic Valley, over into southwestern Idaho during the late afternoon or evening. And you'll notice the main pattern keeps most of the precipitation, basically Chalice to Blackfoot, maybe Idaho Falls off to the south and to the west, and that trend continues into tomorrow morning, and that will shift southward. And it does look like, especially across portions of the Snake Plain and Magic Valley during the day tomorrow. And, you know, this particular model, this one's trying to show it's staying west of Pocatello. Don't be surprised if you see it, and we are expecting it farther north and east up into the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, and again, some of the surrounding highlands. As we go back to looking at some more specific numbers in the forecast, there's that light snow. Most of us seeing under an inch of snow underneath this with this little bit of light snow and flurry activity that's falling. Going into the afternoon, you can start to see the snow moving into the central mountains and also spreading south and eastward towards the Magic Valley. For today, temperatures generally in the 20s to near 30 degrees, teens and 20s elsewhere across the region. And for tonight, there's where most of that snow falls, west of Pocatello over into the Wood River Valley, the Central Mountains, the Magic Valley, down into the South Hills and the Albion Mountains. 1 to 2 inches. We may see like Magic Mountain, Pomerelle, maybe even a few spots between Burley and American Falls, maybe briefly hitting 3 inches with this snow moving through, at least the initial band. And then you can see the light snow that continues overnight, maybe a little bit more than an inch overnight for some of the higher elevations. south of the Snake Plain. And temperatures tomorrow, where we keep that cloud cover, that stratostack in place, in the teens to near 20 degrees. Where we see more clearing, at least initially some more clearing, we're talking single digits above to maybe 5 to 10 below zero for tomorrow morning. Snow amounts for tomorrow during the day, you can see the generally light, and still we talk about that cedar feeder, the light snow under the stratostack. That is definitely still continuing in areas especially to the south. Going into tomorrow afternoon, it'll be a little bit cooler, teens and 20s for afternoon highs, maybe some single digits if you're headed up to Copper Basin, try to go up to Mount Boris, some of those highest elevations in the Central Mountains, also over into the Big Holes and the Tetons. Going into Friday, looking at temperatures, seeing more single digits and below zero temperatures up north, where we keep a little more cloud cover into the single digits and low teens Friday morning, and temperatures continuing to drop. We still are looking at this cold air moving in as we go into the weekend. The trend, though, has been to warm up the forecast, and there's a lot of things going towards that. We do have that low, the potential for that low, if it does move in here, that would bring the colder air. It's a little bit slower to move in. That allows a little bit of a west flow, that it keeps it a little bit warmer. That's going to also bring in a little bit of wind and a better potential for snow beyond the weekend, especially going into Monday and Tuesday, keeping those temperatures warmer. But you still see where we get the colder air to intrude on Saturday, single digits in teens, 20s, or in those areas. And we've still been talking about maybe down towards the Utah border and some of the central mountain areas, especially over towards Stanley, the Stanley Basin, not getting as cold as everyone else, mid-20s on Saturday. And that trend is still there. We talk about the warmer temperatures. It's mainly where we've been watching this colder air intrusion for the weekend. Temperatures in well below zero across a good chunk of the unpopulated area of the Snake Plain. We're talking single digits above to around 10 below elsewhere. Some of the colder, higher elevation places like Copper Basin, definitely around 10 to 20 below zero for air temperature Sunday. But you'll notice that we are seeing in the teens and 20s, those warmer areas in the mid-20s and upper 20s now for Sunday. And this trend continues into Monday, whereas before we were looking at temperatures of about 5 degrees cooler. There's still some potential that we may see colder temperatures still moving in. It may be delayed into next week. Just we have to wait and see how this pattern does develop. But for now, even though we're trying to advertise the trend is a little bit warmer going into the weekend and the early part of next week, it will be colder. It will still be cold, and the snow will be there. And with these cold temperatures in place, we're not looking at really any melting snow conditions. So folks that want snow, that for whether they're going to go into the backcountry skiing next week for the holiday, for the Christmas holiday, or they just want snow on the ground for Christmas, it looks like where we've got snow and where we may see some light snow falling over the next off and on over the next few days, it's going to be there for Christmas. Once again, that light snow's around. We're going to deal with some low clouds and freezing fog, maybe a little bit of light snow after we get past tomorrow. And like we said, the colder temperatures are coming. It may be delayed and not quite as cold as we were thinking. So have a great Wednesday and stay safe out there, everyone.